Kike, I just looked this up. You've played in 17 potential clinch games in your career. Can you just kind of go through what goes through your mind in games like this and just how special it is to be in this position?
Well, I think for me, this is loud and echo. I come into the ballpark in October with the same mentality, and it's win today. And we're in a really good spot today to secure a spot to clinch the pennant and go to the World Series, which is exactly where we want to go. That's been the goal from day one. And the mentality is win today, and we have an opportunity to do something that at least I've been a part of 3 World Series teams, and I've never been able to clinch at home. And in 2020 we were wearing white when we clinched the pennant, but we weren't at home. We were in Texas, so just come in ready to go, and just do whatever it takes to win today.
Next question. Go ahead, Eric.
Kike, what do you guys need to do today against Minaya that maybe didn't happen in Game 2?
Score.
Is there anything about his approach that kind of gave you guys some trouble in the last game?
He pitched really well. It was our first time seeing him with his new arm angle, and they jumped on us early. And I'm sure as a pitcher, the mentality is a little different when you have a 6-run lead than when it's a 0-0 game or a close game. And kind of the same for the lineup, we just, I feel like that day it was just, we were trying to score a lot of runs with just one swing, and instead of going, doing the same thing we've done throughout this postseason, which is just do your part and pass the baton and keep the line moving. And we're hoping for a different outcome tonight.
Next question. Go ahead, Bill.
Kike, when you were drafted, you were a really good shortstop. Now you're a guy that a team can plug in all over the place on the field and get really good defense. Can you talk about how hard that is to do and how much pride you take in doing that?
I mean, damn, I got drafted. I wasn't expecting to hear that today, but that was a long time ago. And, it's not easy. It's not easy to do. I take a lot of pride in my defense and my versatility, because it's not the same to say that you play a lot of different positions and to just do it in a way where if you're getting plugged in a different spot on a daily basis, you're not losing any defensive value. And that's what I take the most pride in. And I think we can all agree that I've kind of been doing it for a long time now, and it's just part of who I am. And here I am, 11th season in the big leagues, and doing the same role as I've been doing since 2014. And it still takes a lot of hard work. Sometimes it becomes a little easier than other times, but if you don't put in the work and you don't put in the dedication, the game's gonna get a little fast for you if you're playing a different position that you haven't played for in a while. And it just takes a lot of really hard work.
Next question. Hazel in the back.
Kike, what is special about being able to clinch a series in front of your hometown fans?
You kind of answered it by asking the question. Just to be able to do it in front of our home crowd is everything. They come in, they show up for us year in, year out on a daily basis. We lead baseball in attendance yearly. I can say that our fan base travels as good as any fan base in all of baseball. Anywhere we go, there's a huge section of blue in the stands, and to be able to do it at home, kind of means everything to us, because we get to celebrate with them. And NLCS was pretty special to clinch at home, so we're hoping to do the same tonight.
Next question from Kirsten.
Kike, I know this year you all have prioritized just spending time with this team and amongst each other. How does that prove to be beneficial, especially coming off of how you guys did lose in New York, wanting to reset the tone back here in Los Angeles?
I mean, it's all about unity. Something that stood out for us in 2020 when we were able to win it all was the unity that we had, because we had no choice but to be together. We were stuck in a hotel for a month in Texas, and I mean, if we were a family going into spring training, we left the World Series as almost blood brothers, and I think part of the chemistry, part of the unity that we have in that locker room was what allowed us to come back from a 2-1 deficit against the Padres in the NLDS, yeah, I mean, not only do we want it for us individuals, but we want it for each other, and when you're part of a team and when you're part of a series like this one, where it's going to take each and every individual in that locker room to be able to not only to win today, but to win a series, it's enormous, and I think the chemistry and the unity in that locker room is as good as any team I've ever been a part of.
Go ahead, Sam.
Kike, we see you goofing around with your teammates quite a lot. What's Ohtani been like from your point of view, perspective?
As far as what?
Like goofing around, or like as a teammate?
He's been great. He's got a lot bigger personality than what any of us expected. He likes to joke around a lot. He likes to have a good time. He has this childish energy to him, which is great. I think that allows him to, disconnect from the fact that there's a huge pressure on his shoulders, because that's what comes with, not only being the greatest player in the game, but potentially, possibly be the best ever. And he's been a joy to watch. I think Kirsch said this a couple days ago, and I say the same thing. I love being his teammate. I love watching how he goes about his business, putting an MVP season together while rehabbing Tommy John surgery. That's borderline mind-blowing. And I think my favorite part about Shohei is that we can be on a bus ride to San Diego, and the bus ride, it looks like a party bus, or we could be on a flight where there's music blasting throughout the plane, and he's just sitting in his chair reading comics. And that's just show. He's amazing.
Next question on the left over here.
Kike, buenos días.
Buenos días.
Habías mencionado anteriormente acerca de que uno de tus motores es tu corazón latino en esta serie de campeonato y durante tu carrera. ¿Puedes ampliar ese comentario, por favor? Gracias.
Yo pienso que el ser latino, o sea, para mí ser puertorriqueño, es un poquito difícil explicarlo en el sentido de que si eres puertorriqueño y lo has vivido, pues tú lo entiendes, pero yo siento que desde que somos niños y empezamos a jugar al béisbol desde los 7, 8 años, ya nosotros jugamos unos juegos donde técnicamente hay mucha presión, ya sea de nuestros papás o de nuestros coaches, pero nos ponen en una situación donde empezamos a jugar juegos súper importantes y nos hacen creer como que estamos jugando juegos de grandes ligas a bien temprana edad, y yo entiendo que el sazón y el calentón del juego pues nos hace a nosotros querer estar en el momento, y el no tener miedo de enseñar nuestras emociones y nuestra pasión por el deporte nos permite pues sacar lo mejor de nosotros en situaciones importantes, y yo diría que esa es la mejor manera que yo puedo resumirlo aquí en poquitas palabras, porque no tenemos mucho tiempo, pero creo que esa es la mejor manera que lo puedo describir.
Anthony, with this bullpen game today, what has it been just about the group as a whole that's allowed you all just to be so excellent, not only in this series, but just in this postseason?
I think it has a lot to do with understanding our job, understanding that regardless of what happens, we're going to pick each other up. There's a lot of confidence down there. And the biggest key factor would just being trusting our stuff and trusting what the pitching coaches and analytics have shown us and given us the plan of attack, and just go and execute that.
Stay on the left side, Chelsea in the fourth row.
Hey, Anthony.
Hi.
It seems like the Dodgers are, year after year, able to bring in guys to the bullpen that maybe weren't at their best elsewhere and then kind of find their best here and then find it when it matters most. How do they do that? What do they do that gets so much out of guys and makes them better?
I think that's what's so special about the Dodgers, and they see, what others see, and they exploit that, the strength in individuals. I think it has a lot to do with the understanding and the communication from coach to player, player to coach. Their biggest message when I first got here was just be yourself, and I think that translates into the communication part of it, where they could understand us as players better. That way they could turn around and voice whatever it is that they need to exploit as far as with pitches or movement types or anything else like that. I think that's what they do very well here. Given the fact that all the analytic stuff and everything else like that to back that up, but I think that's the biggest reason.
Go to Jack in the front on the right.
In what ways have you changed as a pitcher this year within that environment?
I think I matured as a pitcher mostly in the idea of understanding my strengths and understanding that, just confidence really. And then the plan of attack really, and showing me different things that I could do in different counts. I think that goes a long way, and then obviously introducing the slider as well. I think it's all in the one, I think, really. But I think maturity, and then obviously understanding the plan of attack and pitch usage is what really I've grown as a pitcher, as an individual, really.
Go back to Kirsten.
I know on the hitting side, there's a lot of talk of just momentum, and it kind of feels like when one guy goes, another one, things can pick up pretty quickly. Do you feel that, though, on the pitching side, especially just how we've seen, whether it's starters set the tone or even bullpen guys set the tone, and with Michael Kopech today, how do you feel like just what he does can really just kind of add to the rest of the guys in the bullpen? Is there such thing as momentum when it comes to the pitching side, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe in momentum 100%. You can feel it shift. You can feel it when the offense is clicking, and we have a big inning. Our job as a pitcher, after those big innings, is go and have a shutdown inning to kill the momentum on their side. But as pitchers, when we see, our guys that we've been with for the entire season go out and just do their job and put up a zero, it's almost like a relay race. So you just hand that baton back on to the next guy, and you basically root for them and understand that they're going to do their job and do their best to put up another zero, and it's just so forth and so forth. So I think it has a lot to do with that, and I think that's just a big momentum thing, understanding that, hey, if he can do it, I can do it type of deal. And that's kind of what we've always been together as far as like back in the bullpen, and that's what we do as far as like the plan of attack throughout the game.
Stay on the left side, third row.
Hey, you mentioned the slider is a relatively new addition for you this season. Was there something that the Dodgers helped you figure out in terms of being able to get all that extra horizontal movement on that slider? I know you're probably a pretty traditional pronator, but getting that extra horizontal movement without sacrificing too much velocity, was that something they worked on you with?
Yeah, the idea with it was very simple. The biggest thing that they kind of communicated with me and understood with me was I had a misunderstanding of how to throw the breaking ball. I always thought that you had to get the fingers to the front of the ball and all this other good stuff. But when they had told me that, this is gonna fit you, and it, just throw it like a fastball, let it work off your pronation. That was a key thing for me. It was, what do you mean as pronation? And then when I saw the Egatronics, the slow motion camera, that's what really opened my eyes in the sense of like, okay, like we spin the ball through the pronation part of it, not through getting the fingers to the front of the baseball type of deal. I think that's what really made it click for me and understand that, okay, like I could do this. And then when we tried it, it kind of just really worked. So it wasn't no special anything. It was just the communication part and understanding the idea of it.
Any last ones for Anthony? All right, thanks for coming in. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, guys.
Dave, can you just take us into the decision to go with Michael Kopech for the start with this one tonight?
I think we just all felt that it's a part of the lineup that we like Michael. He's started games before, and just feel it's the best chance to put up a 0 in the first inning and then kind of move forward.
How important, just when you look at the approach for this game, does it feel like, yes, you could go to Game 7, but does it feel like it needs to be done today?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the best way to approach tonight's game. I think, overall, we're playing good baseball. I think outside of 2 bad innings, it's been really good. So I think that, seeing Manaya a handful of days ago bodes well for us, and we just got to go out there and take good at-bats. And, it's going to be a pen day, so we're going to, deploy a lot of different guys tonight.
Fabian?
Yeah, Dave, what ultimately went into not having Freddie in there today?
He just kind of ultimately, we felt that giving him another day is best for him, potentially having him late for an at-bat, but the defense, he took batting practice yesterday, felt fine, but just doesn't feel like himself. So we just felt that potentially another day would help.
And then Manaya's a reverse splits guy. Was there any thought to having Lux at second today?
No, Gavin's still not even. I think that it's reversed, but I think you have to also appreciate the left-handers that do face Manaya. And Gavin hasn't faced a lot of lefties, number one, and also number 2, he's not 100%. So if we can buy him another day, I think it's beneficial. But he's available, and I do expect him in the game today, though.
Go to Jack in the front right.
Obviously, you guys were planning to have bullpen games this series. Was Kopech somebody you looked at coming into this that was an option to open, or is this something that over the last couple of days and coming out of Game 2 became more of an idea for you guys?
I think kind of given our options today, we felt that Kopech was the best option. So I think that to your first question, was it a thought, a week ago? Probably not.
And then how willing are you going to be to push some guys for multiple innings today to try to get the coverage you need versus balancing if there is a game tomorrow, what that might mean?
That's something that we're all going to have to wait and see how the game plays out, and that'll dictate that. But that's something that certainly has to be in my mind as well, for sure.
A few more for Dave. Go to Carrie on the right.
Dave, Andy Pa has sort of introduced himself to the national stage the other day with his bat, but how about that arm and how that helps neutralize the running game?
He's done a great job being able to get his first taste of postseason baseball, playing a big role. The bat, certainly, as you mentioned, Kerry, but the defense, he's been really good out there defensively, and the arm strength, the accuracy has saved a couple runs, actually. So it's been a deterrent to score runs from third base on a potential sac fly, but he's done a great job. It's been good, and excited to have him in there tonight as well.
Go to Tim, 4 rows up in the middle.
After how Ohtani looked against Manaya last time, how easy or not easy is it to make an adjustment to a funky kind of delivery?
I think it's not easy. I do think that Shohei will make that adjustment. I think that pitching in the day, ball coming out of center field might have had something to do with it too, kind of like off the hitter's eye. The night game, I think, will be beneficial. And also just the familiarity, because it's a funky look. But also, I think that Minaya made some really good pitches down and away with the fastball to Shohei. But yeah, if he makes a mistake, Shohei will be ready to hit it.
Go back to Jack on the right.
Obviously, you guys have had success against Minaya in years past. What is it about him right now that's so different? Is it just the arm slot? Does he attack you guys in a different way? What did you see the other day from him?
It's a slot. I think the slot, you can have the same pitch mix, but the characteristics are different. It's more sweepy, which makes it tougher on the right-hand hitter coming into you versus more kind of 2 to 7 on the breaking ball. The fastball kind of has a little bit more rise than when it was traditionally 3/4. So it's just a different look that, the more familiar you get with it, the better you have a chance. But he's still, he's kind of reinvented himself, which is very unique, especially in the middle of a season.
Sorry, we'll go to the third row on the left.
To deal with that funky slot, did any hitters face him on the traject pitching machine?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Was Shohei one of those?
I hope so.